This is the Fox 5 News Block.
The tri-state is on high alert for flash flooding and torrential downpours as Mother Nature loosens her grip on a 3-day heat wave. And family, friends, and the community coming together at the funeral of NYPD Officer Didarul Islam, one of New York's finest, killed during a mass shooting in Midtown on Monday. Good afternoon, I'm Bianca Peters. Welcome to the News Block. Those stories in just a moment, but we are following severe weather outside right now. Take a look. This is a scene in Bayside, Queens. That's where heavy rain is slowing traffic on the Cross Island Parkway. Flooding remains a major concern as more rain is expected throughout the day. And a similar scene in North Plainfield, New Jersey. That is where flooding is already an issue. This is a scene on Route 22 where cars are being forced to make their way through rising waters. It is an area hit hard by severe weather in the past recent weeks. We do have team coverage for you, so let's bring in Audrey Puente and Liv Johnson for a look at the forecast. Audrey, well, start with you.
Oh, good afternoon, Bianca, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm here with Liv Johnson. We've been monitoring the severe weather that has been moving through the tri-state area, and as you mentioned, Bianca, we had a tornado warning earlier issued for the area in and around Plainfield, New Jersey, where they did receive some heavy rainfall across the region. We're looking right now, actually, the warnings have been since expired.
Yes, the warnings have expired. I'm going to actually go look at the graphics right now because we are set on the wrong one, so just momentarily.
Okay, so while she does that, let me explain that earlier we did have a tornado warning issued for the areas around Plainfield, New Jersey because of the strong thunderstorm cells that came through the region. We just got wind reports in from eastern Pennsylvania. Okay, that's telling us that we were seeing some damaging winds in that part of the area. Okay, here's the lineup. We've been talking about this for a couple of days now. The atmosphere has been ripe for severe weather and significant downpours. We've had a lot of moisture late in our air mass in our atmosphere, and that's resulting with heavy rainfall across the region. So that was the initial threat. Today, though, we did see what's called CAPE. It's convective available potential energy. That's a little science term. And what that means is how much energy is actually available for thunderstorms to erupt and how severe will they be. Normally at about 1,000 joules per kilogram, you get thunderstorms, but today we were shooting near 2,000. So that told us that we were definitely going to get some severe thunderstorms. And that's the case even right now as we see them moving in across the area, Liv, right?
Right. Richmond County is under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. We also had Kings County, and you can see how much lightning is taking up so much of this area. We're heading into Nassau County. We do have some isolated thunderstorms for Suffolk County as well. Yeah. And we've had a lot of action also in parts of Connecticut, but right now, New Jersey, New York City, that's kind of the focus of where these storms are.
And when you see the orange shaded boxes flashing, this is where we have severe thunderstorm warnings occurring right now. So this one is actually going through Staten Island. And this cell right here, this is the one that did produce the possible tornado in and around Plainfield, New Jersey. So right over Staten Island, heading towards Brooklyn, you're getting heavy rainfall here. And even more concerning is strong winds. Damaging winds are actually moving in with this storm cell. We've had wind reports up to 60 miles per hour within this cell. And there's also the potential for some hail. I don't have any hail reports just yet, but looking at a deeper look at the radar earlier did indicate that this can produce some hail, so that's also a threat right now across Staten Island and also over towards Brooklyn and Queens too.
And it goes further down. We see a severe thunderstorm warning right outside of Philadelphia.
Oh, yes, I just saw that. They have excessive rainfall happening. In fact, I saw a shot of the stadium where they had to have the lights on because the skies turned really dark with all the heavy rain. I think they've already measured about 3 inches just north of Philadelphia here with this cell coming in.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a closer look. We now have you see Brooklyn is a part of the severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, and it appears we have a new one here moving toward the south here. It looks like parts of Monmouth County, maybe Ocean County. Oh, actually, no, this will be Monmouth County heading inland over towards East Brunswick. We can see a really nasty cell coming out of East Brunswick right now. This is part of a line that's actually pushing across portions of New Jersey heading over towards Staten Island. And again, I want to talk about the setup just a little bit here because yesterday we were talking about this and even the day before. This is a stalled frontal boundary that's in our vicinity, and a lot of the weather models were indicating a line of heavy rainfall from about the city on southwestward here, and that's exactly where this is kind of lining up because we didn't really know where the front was going to stall out. What the weather models were indicating somewhere around central New Jersey, and it's along that line. We sort of call this an axis where we're going to see the heaviest rainfall, and that's actually coming to fruition. We can see here on the radar with some of these thunderstorms too.
And we've been talking about this rainfall so much because it's something that our area deals with so much. So it takes about 1.7 inches of rain per hour for us to kind of overwhelm our drainage systems here in New York City. And that's one of the real threats this evening.
Yeah, because rainfall rates can be up to 3 inches per hour within some of these embedded cells. In fact, one model I saw yesterday indicated 5 inches in an isolated spot. So that tells us overall we're going to see bouts of heavy rainfall. Now, as you mentioned with our poor drainage areas, we're also in New York City. We're not a porous area. There's a lot of concrete here. So that's why we see our subways flooding when we get heavy rain events like this. Low-lying areas, some of the sewer systems or the corners where you see the sewer drainage areas, that's where we also see a lot of pooling of the water. With rainfall rates like this, it looks like we will be seeing that seen across the area.
Right, because pavement does not take in water like grass does. So that's why it just ends up flooding into whatever is low lying and then into our drain. So this is a really close look with a lot of lightning strikes that are approaching New York City, but we're already starting to see some rainfall. But the more serious stuff is still a little bit to the west of us. We're seeing some stronger storms over for Great Neck, Port Washington, and some rain that's traveling further north as well.
Yeah, so very dangerous. Of course, lightning's dangerous at any point, but you can see there's a lot of it. So you want to be indoors at least for the next couple of hours, because we're now getting into the worst of it here. The time frame is about between 2 and 6 o'clock where we've been expecting the worst. So right now we're in the thick of it. So we have a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. for the areas shaded in pink here, and the orange is showing where we do have those warnings in effect right now. Ooh, let's talk about the winds.
Some of the current wind gusts are pretty strong. Trenton right now on our map is clocking the strongest wind gusts 40 miles per hour, Newark 34, and here in the city 25 miles per hour.
Right, and keep in mind, this is only the reporting stations. So within some of the storm cells that are in between some of these reporting stations, there's wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. And we see wind gusts that high, we know we're going to probably see damage across the area, whether it's down trees, power lines, anything of the sort. It's just a time to be indoors, folks, because very strong winds along with the heavy rainfall is just not a good combination. Oh, and then talk about the flooding threat, of course.
The flooding threat, which we were just talking about a little bit, but obviously widespread rain through Friday morning. I think a lot of us will be safe on our commute tomorrow. I think the rain will kind of taper off. If there's anything, it'll be pretty light, but the damage will already have been done. And then we're in the clear by late Friday morning. But like you were just talking about, localized 5 inches possible for some areas.
Yeah, so of course we're going to see scattered to numerous instances of flash flooding. I know we've been talking about flooding being an issue. It's really the flash flooding, which is the rain that comes down heavy and moves rather quickly. We've seen in recent storms, Liv, people getting in their cars, being trapped. Never drive through water that you don't know the depth of, because it doesn't take that much to actually have your car stalled out and be stuck in what could be a raging river down a street that never has any wet weather on it. As
I mean,
normally.
Even those scenes that we played earlier of people driving in the rain, that looked too deep to me to be out on the roads.
Yeah, and if you happen to know a loved one that is driving in the area, they definitely coach them on being into higher ground or be under an overpass, actually, because that would actually be a safer place to be should they get caught. Of course, if it's a low-lying one, then that's another story. But if you cannot be if you don't need to be on the roads, please don't. At least wait this one out, because we do have a couple more hours of these cells kind of blossoming across the region. So here's a look at the futurecast. Yeah,
4 o'clock, we're seeing us with some widespread rain. We have Newark getting some stronger storms, and then down the shore, New Jersey getting some stronger rain as well. It is a little bit more widespread for those evening hours, and then it becomes more scattered as we go later into later tonight.
Right.
And then, like I said, tomorrow morning, a lot of us will be in the clear. There's a chance you still see a little bit of lingering rain, but by the time we get into late Friday morning, all of this will be done, and then we can enjoy some cooler temperatures.
Yeah, some much more drier weather for sure. Yeah. All right, Bianca, I think we're going to send it back over to you.
All right, great job, ladies. We'll look forward to hopefully get through this unscathed. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, the city coming together in the Bronx today for the funeral service of NYPD Officer Didarul Islam. Islam died Monday during the mass shooting at a Midtown office building. Fox 5's Lisa Evers is live in the newsroom with the very latest on this somber event. Lisa.
Well, Bianca, a family, a community, and a city coming together today to mourn the loss of hero NYPD police officer Didarul Islam, who was shot and killed Monday night in the Midtown mass shooting. His Parkchester neighborhood in the Bronx, the scene of unspeakable grief and their final farewells. Now, the 36-year-old was one of 4 people killed in the attack by a gunman at 345 Park Avenue. His family, along with the mayor and police commissioner, arrived at his local mosque for prayer services. He's being remembered for his dedication to protecting people and for encouraging young people in his community to pursue careers in public service and policing. He was a married father of 2 with his wife expecting their 3rd child. At the time he was fatally shot, he was in uniform but working a police department-approved paid security detail at the Park Avenue building. Police officers carried his flag-draped coffin during the prayer service. Islam was remembered as a dedicated family man and police officer.
He was a devoted son, a beloved brother, and the most loving father. To our family, he was our world. To the city, he was a proud NYPD officer who served with compassion and integrity. He lived to help others, and he gave his life protecting them. Though my heart is broken, I find comfort knowing that his sacrifice may have saved others in that lobby, people who were able to go home to their families that day. I want to thank the NYPD and our entire community for standing beside us. The NYPD is a vital part of this city. Its people serve with courage and heart.
We saw God in Officer Islam, and now we must take that God-like energy that he offered to allow us to live out his legacy the way he would want to. Our hearts lift him up in prayer. Our city is with you. As one parent to another, I will continue to pray for you and your family, his mother, his wife, his children, and his child on the way. And as the Quran states, we come from Allah and we return to Allah. I've learned not to question God. I learned to respect God. And may God be with you.
Last Sunday, he was out at the Dominican Day Parade working more than a full tour. And on Monday, the day that he was killed, he picked up work at 345 Park Avenue to bring home just a little more. Because that's who he was. He didn't look for an easier way. He just showed up and he did the work. There's a quiet dignity to that. A quiet dignity. Everything for him was about building something for his family, for his mosque, for his adopted city, and for his relatives back in Bangladesh. They were.
Didarul Islam is being laid to rest in a cemetery in Totowa, New Jersey. Bianca, back to you.
Thank you, Lisa. A funeral was also held today for Wesley LePatner, another victim of Monday's deadly shooting in Midtown. Family and friends gathered at the Central Synagogue on the Upper East Side for the somber ceremony. LePatner was a senior executive at the global investment firm Blackstone, which is located in the Park Avenue office building where that shooting took place. All right, that is your news block for now. Bianca Peters, thanks so much for joining us. And for more of the weather, you can chat directly with our weather team. Join Liv for a Fox 5 weather stream live at 3:30 on our YouTube channel. That's